any man give his life for YAHANNA Christ and fall up under that UPK banner is my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary. It's all about that warfare, boy. It's all about that warfare, boy. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Take ground. Now this ain't no movement, this a takedown. We would not be moved or intimidated. We ain't the type. You got a problem? Tell them cross the fucking line. My niggas ain't polite. Soldiers to the left and right. I die for every man body. Before I be a coward, I'd rather be a dead body. This will be my kingdom when the hour plays. You can either get with it or get flipped like an hourglass. We live by honor and no excuse. Just sit the prayer up to the Lord. I told him to let all the terrorists loose. Hold your tongue or get rebuked, cause you made a truce. With a race that made merchandise out of my bills. Scared of who? You got your gun, then pull it. Me and my niggas not to argue, it's about who gon' bite the bullet. He gon' take round. Approaches better move slow. Attack dogs for this truth. Nigga, cool zone. Go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Back up. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Oh, thought you could cross us with no consequence, but you will pay daily. You should've used your common sense. My zeal lit, that means you could never prevail. Hey, with a true sit, hey, with warriors dwell. Be wise with the weapons, cause I promise. My nine just like my wife, she concealed, she modest. I know two things, a robber will not prosper. And any man harm me and my aunt gon' meet the doctor. Cause this life is warfare, it's not an easy walk. Been watching my people die so you can miss me with that love talk. My UPK soldiers, any man try to cross your path, make him regret what that means. Fall on his age, comparing me to you really ain't no contest. The only one west, say what? The only one west. This for those who thinking we ain't ready for. Tell them back up, I'm about to drop some heavy for. Go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Back up. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down, boy. West till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west till they bury me.
Yeah, I'm sure. Give me 1 sec, Warrior.
I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get a dividend. Took we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit, I told you shit phenomenal. Nominee and domino, so what you sucker trying to do? Rhyming comical, guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to the pussy niggas just popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like a Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we go check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I'm vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit's gotten retarded since. All the dominance of one west rising and prominent. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, use my maneuvers, but I ride like I got group vibes for Uber. Rhymes hard like they been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They ride by black Apollos, let the semi holler. The showstopper been the stopper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm going off Patron and premium a vodka. I put the stitches on the Glock, modified the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loud silence on it. When I'm up on the name of rapper, do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when the heat's on, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had a nigga spin like a tire, again a deep. And I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuse igniter, I'm winning coming through with the title because U.P. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
All right, let's get started. All right, shalom, 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 Israel. Yabashim Shabrakatha. Yashima Thamba Shim Shai. What's going on, Canada? Shalom to all the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. All right, today is Friday's night, Lashuan Kodash class. We're teaching Hebrew to our people, teaching Hebrew to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's what we're doing every Fridays here in Canada from 7 till 9 p.m. Make sure you hit the sign-in links. The sign-in links are in the chat on YouTube and on Facebook. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the page. And make sure you sign up before the class ends, all right? So again, every Friday night, we're teaching Hebrew to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That is our original language, all right? And that's what we do in the I.S.U.P.K, all right? We give our people back their culture. We let our people know that it's about time we separate from our oppressor, separate from these other heathen nations, and we come back to our heritage. We come back to our laws, statutes, and commandments, which we find in the Bible, all right? So we're going to start off going over the alphabet. All right, in the Hebrew, we got 22 characters. All right, we just go over this for practice every class. All right. And we also go over the Assyrian. Today, we'll just go over the Lashuan Kodash. All right. We got Abba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Tha. All right. These are the 22 characters of our alphabet. All right. These are characters, images, symbols. They represent something. We have a A, Ba, ga, da, ha, wa, and a za. All right. Every language that we speak on earth, they all stem from the Hebrew. They all come from our language. All right. So you'll see characters like the za is familiar to the letter Z or the letter Z. All right. And you'll notice as we're reading through this, we're not reading left to right, we're reading right to left. Okay. So those are the first 7 characters. Next, we got a ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, and a sa. Then we have I, pa, taza, kwa, ra, sha, and a tha. All right. If you want to learn this language, make sure you start off practicing the alphabet. All right. This is the foundation to speaking any language. Okay, your brother in the school. All right, we got these. All right, we got both the Lashawan Quadash and the Assyrian. All right, your brother in the school, make sure you got a copy of this. All right, if you don't have a copy, just let me know in the chat. Just give me a way that I can reach you, an email address I can reach you. All right, we'll make sure I get that to you. So if we were to go over the Assyrian also has a character for each of these, right? The only difference is they have 5 additional characters, right? You would find that in the ka, the ma, the na, the I, and the taza. In the Assyrian, they have 2 different characters, right? So they have 27 characters versus 22. But each of those Assyrian characters, they represent one of these, okay? And for people who what they would speak called Yiddish or modern Hebrew or different dialects of Hebrew, all right, the pronunciation of our language is a little different. All right, but for us, one more time, we say ah, ba, ga, da, pa, wa, za. You notice that in our pronunciation, it always ends in an ah sound, except for the I and the ah. All right, we pronounce it like that. But everything else, for example, we have ta, ya, ka, la, right? That's how we pronounce all our characters. So we have ah, ba, I'll write it out. Da, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, ta, za, kwa, ra, sha, and a tha. All right. And so once you can get the alphabet down, you can begin to start reading the Hebrew, right? You can look at this. It's not so intimidating, and you'll be able to read what it is you can see, right? You get those characters down, and then you'll be able to read the Hebrew. All right, so we're gonna start our topic for today. And we're going to continue one more week from where we left off last week. And we're just going over vocabulary. All right, last week we left off with words starting with the letter E. Today we're going to start off with words that begin with the letter F. Okay? We're just going to learn how to say some of these English words in the Hebrew. We're going to add to our vocabulary. All right, this is a good part of learning Hebrew, learning another language. These are words that we can use every day. Definitely words we use every day. All right, and words that are good to practice. All right, so again, these are words that begin with the letter F. All right. Come.
You can't see the board.
Salak, you say you can't see the board?
The top part.
Oh, Khan, Salak, 1 second. The camera's a little finicky today. All right, that should be good. So going over the letter F. All right. How we say face in the Hebrew is panya. How we say faith is amawan. Father is Abba. And fail is nakashon. All right, that's how we pronounce all these words. And then what I'll do is I'll put the spelling beside it so we can get the correct spelling. Well, first we have Panya. Panya. All right, so as we pronounce it Panya, I can see where each of my characters are.
Salakia one.
Oh, Salakia. I got two yas up here.
Karokan.
All right. So we can see in the pronunciation we have a pa, a na, and a ya. And because we don't pronounce the ah after na, right? We know these two connect. And that would be the correct way to spell that word. Okay. These connectors let us know where our syllables go in a word. Okay. So we have Panya. Faith, we have Amawan. Amawan. Abba, we have an A and a Ba. And Nakashal, we have a Na. A Ka, a Sha, and a La. All right. And that would be the correct spelling for each of those words. So the word face, we have Panya. Panya. We have Amawan, which is faith. And we have father, which is Abba. And we have the word fail, which is Nakashal. Yeah. And really quickly, Trooper Brock Allah. How do you know somebody has faith in something?
Salakia one. Through the person's actions.
God, that's exactly the word I'm looking for. Right? Through somebody's actions. Right? A Christian would have you believe that faith is just what you imagine in your mind. Right? But we know, for example, our forefather Abraham, forefather of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, his faith propelled him to do something. Right? He was able to put up his son to sacrifice because he believed in something. Right? But I think it says in James chapter 2, I think it's James 2 and 2, maybe James 2 and 4, or maybe James 2 and 8, but it's in that chapter. It says, I'll show you my faith by my works. Right? It's a hard concept for Christians to understand. So then we have father, which is Abba, or Abba, and then fail, which is Nakashal. All right, we'll move on to the
Salakia
next
one.
Come on.
We can't see the spelling for fail at the bottom part.
Come on. So fail in Hebrew is na. Just like that. Na kashal.
Karokan.
Actually, what I'll do is, moving forward, I'll just do, I'm going to just do the spelling of each of the words. All right? I'll just spell it out in the Hebrew. We've done a lot of practice. I'm just learning how to pronounce the words in the English. But for today, we'll switch to just writing out in the Hebrew. All right? If you're just tuning in today for the first time, go ahead and check out our last week's class. And you'll see examples on how to pronounce a word in the Hebrew. All right, we have it all written out. We're going to step up a bit, and we're just going to write it out in the Hebrew. Okay? So we got, last we put up was fail. We got fall. Fall, famine, fast. We have fat. One more I'll fit in here is fear. All right. So how we say fall in the Hebrew is napal. And how we'd write that out in the Assyrian all right. Just like that. So fall is napal. Napal. Famine is ra'aib. Ra'aib. We have fast, which is mahar. Mahar. Fat is shaman. And fear is yara. Yara. And then I'll do the Assyrian beside it. So again, we have Nepal, which is fall. Famine is Ra'aib. 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 Slovakia. Put a Tazah up there. Yeah. That's an I, Ra'aib. We have fast, which is Mahar. Mahar. We have fat, which is Shaman. Shaman. And then fear is Yara. Yara. All right. For brothers who know the Assyrian, right, we got to be able to know the difference, especially for brothers who are getting ready to write their officer test. Make sure you use the right character at the end of each word, okay? For example, fat, we have a na at the end of a word. Make sure you use that second character, right? You have a na at the beginning of a word or anywhere else in the word other than the end. This is how it would look, okay? So fall is Nepal, famine is Ra'ib, fast is Mahar, fat is Shaman, and fear is Yara. All right. So next we got female. We got female, fence, field, fight, and fill. Slakia Brakia Allah. Can you see the board okay?
Kala Wakan.
Okay, come. So for female, we have Na Kwaba. Na Kwaba. Na Kwaba. For fence, we have Gadar. Field is Shada. Shada. Fight is La Kama. La Kama. And then fill is Mala. Mala. And then I'll get the Assyrian beside it. Mala. All right, we'll put the Assyrian beside it. So female, we got Na Kwaba. would be a na, a kwa, ba, and a ha. All right. Na kwa ba. We have fence, which is gadar. We got a ga, a da, and a ra. All right, gadar. Field is shada. We got a sha, da, and a ha. And then fight is la kama. We have a la, a ka, and a ma. All right. The ma is at the end of a word. So we're using that second character. And then fill is mala. All right. Mala. Okay. And you'll notice the ma and the ma, they look different, right? The ma at the end of a word looks like this. All right. It's closed at the bottom. And the ma here has a little opening on the bottom. All right. Salaki, bracket Allah. Does the screen look better to you when you have that glare at the top?
Loud one. Now it looks better.
Better like this, right?
Kana wakan.
Okay, most high in Christ. We'll go like this. All right, so female, one more time, is nakwaba. Fence is gadar. Field is shada. Fight is lakam, la kama, salakia. La kama. And fill is mala. All right. Fill is mala. So next we got fine, finish, fire, first, and flesh. All right. So fine in the Hebrew is ba sadar, ba sadar. Finish in Hebrew is gamar. Fire is ash. First is ra ashwan. Ra Ra Ashwan, and flesh is Bashar. Bashar. All right. All right, we'll get the Assyrian up. So fine, we have Ba Sadar. We got a Ba, a Sa, a Da, and a Ra. Okay, Ba Sadar. Finishes Gamar. We have a Da, a Ma, and a Ra. Gamar. Fire is Ash. We have a Ah and a Shah. First is Ra Ashwan. We have a Ra, an Ah, a Shah, a Wa, and a Na. And then flesh, we have Bashar. Bashar is a Ba, a Shah, and a Ra. All right. That's how we say these words in the Hebrew. So one more time, we have fine, which is Ba Sadar. We have finish, which is Gamar. Fire is Ash. First is Ra Ashwan. And flesh is Basar. All right. So last we did was Bashar, which is flesh. Next we got fly. All right, the fly. We got foot. Forget. Forgive. And fork. All right. I select it. That might be too low on the board. All right. Another way to say forgive is to excuse. All right. So fly in the Hebrew is I.W.A.P. 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 We have foot, which is Ragal. Ragal. forget is nasha. Nasha. And forgive is salah. Salah. All right. Put the Assyrian up for foot. So fly, we got I.W.A.P. Foot is ragal. Ragal. Forget is nasha. Nasha. And forgive is salah. Salah. All right. When you join the Israelite school of U.P.K, you'll notice one of the first words that we learn is salah. All right. And when we get into prepositions and possessive words, right? For example, we add in the word my, right? This possessive word at the end of a word, we would say salak ya, right? We would add that ya character and we would say salak ya. And that means excuse me or forgive me. All right. So one more time, we got fly, which is I.W.A.P. Foot is ragal. Forget is nasha. And forgive is salah. Or forgive me would be salak ya. All right, moving on. We got fork. Fork, free, and fresh. Fork, free, and fresh. How we say fork in the Hebrew is mazalag. Free is kapash. Yeah. Kapash. Yeah. How we say fresh is tarya. Tarya. Get the Assyrian beside it. So fork is Mazalad. We got a Ma, a Za, a La, and a Da. Mazalad. We got free, which is Kapasha. Kapash. Ya. And then fresh is Tarya. Tarya. Alright. There's a Ta, a Ra, and a Ya. We got 3 more to end out with F. And then we'll get into the letter G. We got from, fruit, and future. Alright. To be the last ones for the letter F. We got from, which is Mayan. We got fruit, which is Parya. Parya. And future, which is I.S.U.P.K. Alright. I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. We'll get the Assyrian up. So from, we have a Ma, a Ya, and a Na. Ma, a Ya, and a Na. Fruit, we got a Parya, a Pa, a Ra, and a Ya. And then future, we have a I, a Tha, a Ya, and a Da. Alright. I.S.U.P.K. From is Mayan. Fruit is Parya. And future is I.S.U.P.K. Alright, so we went through some words that begin with F. And now we'll go through the letter G. We got gain. Gain. Garbage. Garden. And garment. How we say gain in the Hebrew is rawak. Rawak. How we say garbage in the Hebrew is I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. How we say garden in the Hebrew is gone. Gone. And garment is bagad. Bagad. Again, everything in Hebrew we read right to left. So gain, we have rawak. All right. We have a ra, a wa, and a ka. We have garbage, which we spell with a sha, a pa, and a ha. All right. I.S.U.P.K. is garbage. And then garden is gone. Gone. Spell it with a ga and a na. And garment in the Hebrew is bagad or bagad. All right, bagad. Just spell with a ba, a ga, and a da. One more time, the word gain in Hebrew is rawak. Garbage is I.S.U.P.K. Garden is gone. And garment is bagad. Garment is bagad. Next we got gas. Gas. Gather. General. Get. How we say gas in the Hebrew is gaz. How we say gather is kwawa. Kwawa. How we say general is lawak. Lawak. How we say get is lock. We're doing the Assyrian. Gaz is spelled with a ga and a za. Gather is kwawa, right? Spell it with a kwa, a wa, and a ha. General, all right? We got generals in the school. Anytime you see a general come into the room, or you're about to speak to a general, all right? The protocol, the respectable thing to do is to say alawat panya, meaning general on deck. All right? We got 7 generals in the school. You see one of those brothers come in the room, or you're on the phone with them, make sure you address them as alawat. All right? They come in the room, you say alawat panya, general on deck, and then you salute the brother. All right? Alawat is general, spelled with an ah.
Salak Yarawan.
Khan.
Doesn't Panya means face?
In the context, we're saying on deck, right?
Khan.
Give me 1 sec. Let me see if I can pull that word up. Because in the Hebrew, we got one word can mean many things, just depending on the context.
Khan.
Let me see. If you look up the Strong's 1782, or select your Strong's 86437, is pana. That's the root. That's the root of the word face. All right, like you were bringing out, that root word is letting you know to turn, or somebody has appeared, or to look, appear, behold, right? Behold, like somebody is here. It's also to have respect to.
Khan.
Right? Respect to the person that's in front of you. Right? So there's different ways you can use that word in context. That's the root word, pana. All right, pana is a root word. We address the generals with alawat panya. All right. So, spelling of the general in Hebrew or I.S.U.P.K in Hebrew, we have a la, a wa, and a pa. Make sure you use that second character for the pa because it's at the end of a word. And then to get is la. All right, we have a la and a ka. And again, the ka is at the end of a word. Or the letter ka ends at the end of the word, so make sure you use that second character when you're writing it out in the Assyrian. That was la, is get. And next we got a girdle. Girdle. We have girl. Girl. We got give. Give. And then we got glass. All right, for girdle in the Hebrew is abanat. Abanat. Girl is yalada. Yalada. Yalada, right? Different from yalad. And then we have give. In the Hebrew is Nathan. Nathan. And then we have glass, which is kawas. Kawas. All right. So we got girdle, which is abanat. Abanat. All right, we spell that with a ba, a na, and a ta. We have girl, which is yalada. Spell it with a ya, la, a da, and a ha. And then give is nathan. Spell it with a na, a tha, and a na. All right. You notice the na at the beginning and the end are different. Pay attention to the characters you use. All right. A way you can say give to me. Right. Give to me. You would say Nathan Laya. Nathan Laya. Nathan Laya. And then we have the word cup or glass. Glass in the Hebrew is kawas. Right? We spell it with the ka, a wa, and a sa. Kawas.
Salak, Yarawan.
Yeah.
The camera's blurry a bit.
Khan, I think it's loading slow because of the internet connection.
Khan, now it's Tawab.
So it just ran slowly for a second. It should be back up. All right. So one more time, we have girdle, right, which is abawat. Salakia. Abanat. Abanat. Girl is yalada. Give is nathan. And glass is kawas. Kawas. Glass is kawas. Next we got glory. Glory. Love. Go. And God. You know another way to say God is power. All right. In the Hebrew, glory is tha, pa ara, tha, pa, a, ra, tha, pa, ara. Tha, pa, ara is glory. We got glove. It's ka, pa, ka, pa, ka, pa. Go is halak. And God is alayam. That's plural. We got alayam. Right. Alayam is masculine plural. Alayam. So glory is thapa, ara. We got a tha, a pa, an a ra, and a tha. Love is ka, pa. We got a ka, a pa, Hada. Go is halak. We have a ha, a la, and a ka. All right. The ka is different here. It ends at the end of the word than how it looks here. And then power or God. We have we have a Allah, got a ya and a ma. All right.
Salakia, other one.
God.
God, isn't it Alahayam?
Khan. So I know they have different ways of spelling power or authority. Just let me see. Let me check really quick. So if you check out Strong's H433, you'll notice they got two ways of spelling it. One of the ways they spelt it here, this would be in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 4. Or Salaki, was that the one I was looking at? If you look at the Strong's H433, the way you would spell God, singular, is just Allah. Right? In the modern Hebrew, they would say El, right? They just pronounce things weird. They would say El, we would say Allah. It's an on Allah or an all. And then to make it plural, masculine plural, you just add the ya and the ma. You got Allah Yam. The difference between Allah Yam and Allah Hayam, I would have to get that answer for you. If you look at Genesis 1 and 4, you see they got it spelled Allah Hayam. I'm not exactly sure why they have it spelled differently. I'd have to look into that more for you.
Khan.
But that's one of the ways. That's one of the ways they have it spelled. All right. And I wonder if Salaki, just off the top of my head, I wonder if that the hada in there has to do with the tense that we're speaking in. But I would have to look that up to confirm that with you. All right.
Khan, no sweat, other one.
All right. All right, so we got government, gracious, gracious, grade, and great. All right. In the Hebrew government is Mama Shalah. Mama Shalah. Mama Shalah. Gracious is Nadayab. Nadayab. Grade is Daraga. Daraga. And then great is Ainab. Ainab. We'll get the spelling up of the Assyrian. So government is Mama Shalah. We got a Ma, a Shah, a La, and a Hada. Mama Shalah. Gracious is Nadayab. We got a Na, a Da, a Ya, and a Ba. Grade is Daraga. We got a Da, a Ra, a Ga, and a Ha. And then great is Ainab. We have an I, a Na, and a Ba. Ainab. But one more time, government is Mama Shalah. Gracious is Na Dayab. Grade is Daraga. And great is Ainab. Ainab. So with an I, a Na, and a Ba. All right. Ainab is great. Next we got grass. Grass, great, and green. And we say grass in the Hebrew is I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. Great in the Hebrew is Gadol. Gadol. And then green in the Hebrew is Yarakwa. 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 So we got grass, which is I.S.U.P.K. We spell it with an I, a sha, and a ba. I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. is grass. We got great, which is gadol. Gadol is spelled with a ga, a da, and a la. Okay. Gadol, and then green is Yarakwa. Yarakwa. Then we spell it with a ya, a ra, and a kwa. Yarakwa. All right. And then the last one, we got two left. We just did green, which is Yarakwa. Next, we got grow and guide. Guide. Guide is the rock. The rock. And grow is Tazah Mak. Tazah Mak. Grow is Tazah Mak. We spell it with a Tazah. A Ma. And a Ka. And then the rock, which means guide, is spelled with a Da, a Ra, and a Ka. All right, and make sure you use that second character for the Ka. All right. So we went through the letters F and the letters G. All right, that was just continuing going through our alphabet, getting in some Hebrew words. That's it for G. We'll go over a quick review of some possessive words. All right. Some brothers are tuning in for the first time. You can take these down in your notes. All right. These are some good words to also have in your vocabulary. All right. I'll spell it out how it sounds. Anya, Atha, Hana'a, Haya'a, Haya'a, Anak Noah, Anak Noah, Atham, Athan, all right. Anya means I. Atha is you. Hana'a is he. Haya'a is she. Anak Noah is you. Masculine. Salakia. Anak Noah means we. And then a thumb is masculine, and a thun is you, feminine. All right, those are some good words to have in your notes. You'll see these words all over the Bible. And if you're learning to speak to brothers and sisters in Hebrew, these are definitely good words to know how to say. All right. And if I can fit these in on the side, we also have Ham and Han. Okay. And Ham in the Hebrew means they, and Han is they, feminine. Ham is they, masculine. All right. Those are some good words to know. We're learning how to speak Hebrew. So one more time, we have Anya. Anya means I. Atha means you. Hana'a is he. Haya'a is she. Anak Nawa is we. Atham is you, masculine. Athan is you, feminine. Han is they, masculine, and Han is they, feminine. All right. And with that, we're going to end Friday's night Lashawan Kodash class. Let's clap it up. We're going to give the I.S.U.P.K security announcements, and then we'll salute out. All right. This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, a teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has a particular interest in a brother or sister, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister must get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in the book of Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. I.S.U.P.K means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We have the Feast of Purim coming up on Monday, the 14th of February. You can read about that in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 to verse 31. Any brother who wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, men of Israel, Imajim, which means stand. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak. Yahweh Shemel Shai Barakatham. Yad Yamatah, which means hands down. Sar Akhwathim. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak. Yahweh Shamar Al-Khan Bashim Yashar. Yad Yamatah, means hands down. Class dismissed. All right, make sure you hit those sign-up links before you end the class. All right, Shalom, Israel.
Test 1, 2. 2, 2, 2. 2. All that was to be a gangster. All that was to be a gangster. Lord said, confession good for the soul. So right now, all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made before the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made before the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. And shot call. To be known with them niggas letting shots off. Either that or the right hand to the top though. Funny how we see vanity, not the lives lost. Can't be focused on the life that's hope